Grand Rising and Shining Radiant Souls. Today's daily card is from the Mary Magdalene Oracle deck by Megan Watterson. And today it's a reminder about union. Myself and soul are one. In chapter 5 of Mary's Gospel, the disciples are terrified in the wake of Christ's crucifixion. They fear that they will be killed as well if they're caught by the Roman Empire. I've always seen this passage as if it were a scene from a film. I can imagine so vividly the dread they must have felt. I can imagine the comments about the threat to their own lives getting louder until the fear becomes palpable in the air. Then Mary stood up. Her gospel reads, and I can see this so clearly. I can see her standing up among a sea of disciples, all huddled together on the ground, feeling defeated and afraid. Then Mary stood up and greeted them. She tenderly kissed them all and said, "Brothers and sisters, do not weep. Do not be distressed, nor be in doubt." Mary stood up for the disciples in a moment of pure terror and became a presence of love among them. Mary stood up in the midst of great fear to be the love that Christ had been among them. This moment from Mary's Gospel demonstrates what it means to be in union, and it's evidence of her leadership in the earliest form of Christianity. Mary goes on to say that as a community of brothers and sisters, we should praise his greatness, for he has united us and made us true human beings. Christ lived in a state of union. He was Ayidaya, which is Aramaic for the unified one. He had unified his egoic self, his full humanity, with his divinity, his eternal soul. He had become fully human and fully divine. Anthropos, the child of true humanity. Mary, in this state of union, stood up in the midst of panic to be a presence of love when love was most needed. And this is what Mary reminds us that we can do as well. We can practice living in a state of union by returning again and again to the soul that sits like a treasure here inside our very human hearts. We can practice becoming the presence of love when love is most needed. The Soul Voice Meditation. How can I stand up like Mary to be a presence of love in this moment? And I think we've gotten this one recently, or I just remember reading this card, and it really sticks with me on when we are faced with very fearful moments of, oh my goodness, how can we find love there? And I love this, reminding us that, I am in the belief, or in my opinion of Christ, is that he was here to show us how we can be a human being. We're not human doing, we're human beings. And how can we be a true human? And that's connecting our soul and our ego together, unifying both together, and always letting our soul lead us when we are faced with these types of challenges. And we aren't, that's not the first thing that we go to. And it does have to do with our conditioning. We're conditioned to stay in the ego. And when fear comes in, we have that reaction. And our soul, I feel, is one of a reaction of, wait a minute, take a step back. What would love do here? That's a difficult question, I know, for all of us to answer. But we kind of know that it really is an easy answer. To just love and accept people where they are in the moment, and to be a comfort and be compassionate. To me, that's what Mary Magdalene and Jesus both were here, what they were showing us. So let's do our best, right? That's all we can do. Thank you as always for connecting and joining me. And you know I'm always sending you peace, love, and soul.